Alive. Welcome. Today we are talking about going green on a budget, and I have with me Karen from Rose's Allotment Adventures. Hello, Karen.
Hi everybody.
So we're going to be talking about going green on a budget. Now, when I was a kid, it was called Back to Basics. But they've got all sorts of fancy names for it now. And we're going to go through some of the things that you can do that don't cost a lot of money. And even if you do one thing, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah. So, Karen is a wonderful going green person.
Have I got a list for you?
Well, I hope so.
Yes. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was we would go through things that don't cost anything to start off with. If we go do that. So things that don't cost anything, aren't going to put you out of pocket, are very easy to do, really simple, and you don't have to worry about them cutting into your budget. If anything, they could save you money.
Absolutely, yes. We're all for saving money.
Definitely. At the moment, absolutely. Every little penny counts right now.
Yeah. So do you want me to
crack on?
So here we go. So the very first thing we did was, and we did this for Lent, as I was saying earlier, was we stopped using cling film. And, as part of our, trying to go plastic free when we were first starting. And I had in mind that we would need beeswax wipes and stuff. And I did eventually make the beeswax wipes, and I've never used them. So stop using cling film. You can use Tupperware for your leftovers. If you don't have Tupperware, or if you've got something like an orange curry that you don't want to stain your Tupperware, put it in a bowl. And if you don't need anything on top of it, because you're just going to reheat it. But if you are bothered about the smells that may permeate into your fridge, just put a plate on top, like they did in the 50s before they invented cling film. So that is one, and it will save you money buying cling film.
Absolutely.
The other one, stop using kitchen roll. You don't need that either. If you're mopping up, use a cloth. They're reusable, or your kitchen sponge, whatever you're using to wash up with, just use that and wash it out. Yeah. And then everything else is kind of stop using your tumble dryer. We've got nice weather. If you haven't got a space outside to hang your clothes, then you can use an airer indoors. If you have no other option in your house but to use your tumble dryer, then on your washing machine, there is usually a setting for an extra spin. And on my machine, it takes 12 minutes to do this rinse and drain. And that really cuts back the time on drying, no matter where I'm drying. At the moment, we're drying outside.
Yeah.
So with your washing machine, don't use colour catching sheets. There's a lot of people that just chuck your whites and your darks and your colours and everything in together, and they use a colour catching sheet instead. Sort your washing. It doesn't take much. Your whites from your darks. And if you need something, we don't create a lot of washing, so I do understand that, you might need something and you haven't got enough for a full load. If you need something, give it a quick hand wash. It doesn't take long.
No, it's quite easy to do.
It is very, but most things just need a slosh around. And then disposable wipes. So a lot of people use them for cleaning. Again, use your cloth. And also for makeup. Actually, losing my makeup wipes was the best thing I did. It's nicer, it's kinder on my face, and I was spending $5 a month on makeup wipes. And now I use water. So you don't need a cleanser either. I use water on my face, and I've made some makeup wipes that I reuse myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that's not going to cost you any money is, and everyone knows this one, eat less meat. We're not going to go down the be vegan, pitchforks thing.
No,
It's just
no
one
need
day
for that.
a week. Yeah, just one day a week. Just have, a vegetable curry, or, whatever, vegetable pie, or whatever you're going to eat instead of meat. It's just one day, and it does make a really big difference to the planet, and it saves a lot of money.
Absolutely. And it's more about it. I think in a lot of ways it's more about putting money in our pockets, back in our pockets,
Yes.
where it's, buying all these extra things that aren't necessary, like your plastic wrap and covers for your bowls and, Tupperware containers and all that kind of stuff. They're just really not that necessary. Okay, so we've had a few people pop in, and I just want to say hello to, we've got Sapphire, Diamonds and Pearls. Hello, darling. She's been making sauerkraut, which, good for you, doll. It's great.
Nice.
It's so easy and so cheap to do. Really, really awesome. She's having it for her breakfast. Good for you. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sneaky breakfasts. That is like all the toppings for hot dogs without the hot dogs and without the bun. And I have that because it's yum. Miss Ann Dale is here. She's driving, but she's here. Hi, Anne.
Hello, Anne.
Nisi from Free Handly Made. She's here too. Hi, honey. How you doing? And Where to Begin Homestead. Welcome in. So today being Earth Day, I wasn't planning. I didn't even know it was Earth Day this morning until someone put a post up and I saw it. Because we were already planning on doing the Going Green on a Budget today, because last week was Good Friday, obviously. So this kind of worked out really, really well. So there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to going green. As I said, when I was a kid, it was called going back to basics. And there's a lot of hoo-ha about it being very, very expensive. And it can be if you go for all of the fancy green things, but you don't need to. It's not really necessary. And I think there's a lot of things that are there to fill in pages for blogs in a lot of respects. And I know that sounds really harsh, but I think in a lot of respects, a lot of them have been. Things like unkitchen roll. That it's a cloth, but it's made so that it's got press studs on the side, and you can roll it up on your kitchen roll holder thing. And it's like, well, hey, Claire. A cloth is a cloth at the end of the day. And if you want different cloths for different things, just have a couple of different cloths. It's not that difficult, and it's still very, very cheap. Hey, Rebecca Davis, how are you, darling? So, yeah, things like that. And, all sorts of little bits and pieces that are very, very cute to make and can fill in a bit of time for us over the winter or what have you. But in a lot of respects, I just think they're a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. What do you reckon, Karen?
I totally agree. There's a lot of companies out there making a lot of money on these. Well, that's not greenwashing, is it? But greenwashing is another aspect.
Yeah,
a lot of unnecessary products and gadgets, like you say about the unkitchen roll. To me, that just seems more of a pain to unpress stud it off the roll when you want it, and then have to roll it all back up again, press studding it together.
I know, what a faff.
It just,
I remember when I had little kids running around, and I not only had mine, but I had foster kids as well. And in one year we had 16 kids in the house, 18 kids in the house, including mine, over a Christmas period. Now, if I'd had to worry about faffing around with an unkitchen roll, I think it would have ended up somewhere in the back field.
Yeah, I think it would just get piled in a drawer along with the normal cloths with me.
Yeah. I mean, they're cute and they're lovely and they look wonderful, but if you're limited for space and your space is at a premium, you can't afford to have little boxes of this and that and something else, or little jars of this and that and something else sitting up, taking up all your room in your kitchen or your bathroom or wherever, you know? And we all know what kids are like. Oh, look, that looks pretty. I'm going to pull them all out all at once. And then all your hard work for that hour of rolling up these things is going to be straight out that window.
Yeah. And we should go on to the greenwashing from there, actually. And something that it always bugs me when people are trying to go green, they come across a particular company who are doing laundry pods, because people are used to using the pods, and they're like, we will send you these laundry pods, but we use less plastic in our containers. So they send you a small box of these laundry pods, small plastic box that comes through your letterbox. Everybody raves about how eco they are, because that is very much their selling point. However, they are only slightly more environmentally friendly than if you were to buy a giant plastic tub of pods. Almost every other option for your laundry is more environmentally friendly than this company. That's a particular bugbear of mine, and you see it often on the Facebook green groups. You know, these are great. This company's great, and no, it's not.
No. That's the thing. It's still not green because it's got all the detergents and stuff in it that we don't want, that causes trouble when it goes down the pipes.
There is that too, yeah.
You know, I mean, you put detergents down into the water catchment places, the water treatment plants and stuff. It messes up what they're doing down there, you know, let alone people who are, you know, living with septic and stuff like that. They're not great. They're not great.
No, and the plastic that these pods are wrapped in doesn't always dissolve as well.
Yeah. Where to Begin Homesteads just said, I have made dusters out of cheap fleece, use them and throw them in the wash, ready to use again. Exactly. I mean, we always used to have a rag bag. When I was a kid, my mum had a rag bag and it was in the hallway cupboard, and it was basically all my old clothes. And it was just chopped up into pieces as rags, and that's what she used as her dusters and all of the things that she had for messy jobs that she really didn't care whether it, you know, was going to survive or not, you know. And fair enough. And that's what I always did when my kids were little, was, you know, once, you know, the clothes had gone through every other possible child they possibly could, and all that was holding them together was the T-shirt tag on the front, you know, they got turned into rags.
Why not? And actually using a cheap fleece, it was actually one of my husband's jumpers that I didn't like. I used that fleece to make my face wipes, quite out of, you know, it was quite by coincidence, but it is the best thing I've ever used on my face. And, you know, I've used all the wipes, you know, all the different ones, including the expensive ones. So big.
And they are pretty expensive for what they are, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it's just a fancy baby wipe.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing is, you know, things like baby wipes and stuff like that, that quite frankly, I sort of I never had them for my first child, and he's 31 this year. All I had was face cloths. Just little face cloths, you know, and when we went out and stuff, it was taken out damp in a little, you know, waterproof baggie in his nappy bag, and that's what we used. We didn't really have wet wipes. They weren't a thing. They were for people who had the money to spend on such things. But yeah, What have we got? Where to Begin Homesteads just said, yes, old socks are great to use. Also, yes. Claire, I use a rag bag. Any old stuff for the kids gets used for dusters and cloths. Sapphire Diamonds and Pearls. I have not bought laundry soap since April 2020. I have made my own, and the price they want now is ridiculous. Yeah. I've restarted making my own. I haven't made it for a number of years since I moved over here to the UK, but I have actually started making my own now, and I have got videos on that, including how to make this fabric softener to go with it. There will be more videos like that as well. So yeah. Yeah, so what are we on to next? Karen, you're gonna have to poke me, love. My brain's just gone through my ears. Oh, where have you gone? Have you muted yourself? Hey, Leanne, how are you doing?
My husband snuck me some lunch, so thank you. Rebecca, wool dryables, they are excellent.
Yes. And really important to make friends. If you have a sheep farmer anywhere near you, make friends with them, because wool at the moment tends to get just dumped into a compost pile. It certainly does here in this country. It's wasted because everyone wants, poly fibers and all of this kind of thing, and they're not going for the wool anymore. So the bottom has dropped out of the market. It's not worth their while keeping it. So make friends with your local sheep farmer and get some free wool, because that is really good for all sorts of things, including making your own wool dryables.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we covered things that were free that you could just stop buying that we don't need. And then, so the next thing are things that are cheaper. So these are things you still have to buy.
Yeah.
But they are cheaper than things you might be buying now. Such as, talking of laundry, if you're buying pods currently, which a lot of people do, big box powder is cheaper.
Yeah.
And that is better environmentally than buying the pods.
It is.
But as some of our friends have said, making your own is excellent. However, realistically, there are a lot of people that are not going to do that. They're just not going to do that.
Absolutely. There are realistically not a lot of people that are going to do that. But for those who can and will and are willing to put aside 15 minutes of their day every 3 months, you know, it's worthwhile doing.
Overwhelming, but, we are fine. We'll do it, and maybe a lot of viewers will do it. So that's excellent.
Absolutely. I mean, it cost me the same amount to buy enough stuff to make enough laundry liquid and fabric softener for us for the next 5 years as it did for 2 bottles of laundry liquid. So you can look at it either way of what you're going to do. So Leanne's got friends who are still spinning with wool to knit with it. That's brilliant. I have a spinning wheel because I actually spin. I also have a loom because I weave, but they're all in storage, and I'm very sad because my loom is probably half the size of this room.
Oh dear.
So I can't really use it at the moment, but it is lots of fun, and you can get like spinning bobbins, which are really cool, and you can stick in your pocket and stuff like that. So I should probably get myself into that at some point.
Claire
says she's always up for a go. She's always up for a challenge.
Excellent, Claire. Could be your video on YouTube then. Making your own laundry liquid powder.
Yep. Leanne, Leanne says, I hate pods. I buy powder for dishwasher, but I buy liquid for my farmer's clothes. He is a very hard worker. Yes. Completely understand that. Hey, Alicia, how are you doing, darling? Good to see you. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So we have just bought
Mm.
an eco egg for our laundry.
Hey, nice.
We've just bought that. I've done the making soap. I did the making liquid hand soap from bars of soap, which is great. And I tested it because I didn't want to buy any nice soap. I tested
Yeah.
it by using some free hotel, the mini bars of soap you get, and it made so much. If you talk about your normal little bottle of hand wash that you get for your bathroom, that kind of size, it easily made like three bottles of those from a tiny little guest soap. So we did that for about, it wasn't quite a year, and then I just thought, you know what, we'll just use bars of soap. So
Yeah.
things that are cheaper, rather than buying your shower gel and your hand soap that we use by the toilet, bars of soap, they're much cheaper and they last longer.
They
Um,
do.
and
They do.
I like to buy from work at home mums, that kind of thing, people
Yeah.
that are making their own soaps. They are more expensive, but they tend to be bigger, so I can chop them in half.
Yeah.
And I keep one in my underwear drawer, which makes it smell nice. You're supporting a small business, but if you don't
Yeah.
have the budget to do that, there are soaps you can just get from the supermarket, which will save you a lot of money. We've gone, in recent decades, we've gone over to being everything convenient and everything disposable.
Yeah.
And we can't be bothered to lather up a bar of soap.
Yeah,
You
exactly. I
know,
mean, these I get these ones. These are Knights Castile. But I get these to make my laundry liquid with.
nice,
And 4 bars cost me 80p.
very nice.
So you can't argue with that. And yes, for your own personal use, using the nice homemade soaps and stuff like that, a really good idea, because they're also a lot better for your skin as well. I mean, those I just get because they're cheap ones, and I don't mind grating those up to go in the washing liquid.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I just wanted to say hello to Dawn from New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus.
Oh, hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawny. How you doing, darling? It's good to see you, sweetheart. So yeah,
Right, let's
yeah,
move on with it because we've got a lot. We've got a lot of tips to give today.
we have. I feel like Karen should be in charge of this today, actually. My poor brain just went out my ears on Tuesday, I think, and it's not really returned.
Well, you got your earphones on. That might keep it inside.
Well, I'm kind of hoping so, because upstairs music is really
Not
it's not to my taste, shall we say. I'll be really good. I won't swear. I won't call it anything nasty. I'll just say it's just not to my taste, and I don't really enjoy sharing it.
It's not coming through. It's not coming through.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, soap making is something that I want to get back into. It's something that I haven't done for a lot of years, but it is something that I really, really want to get back into. So yeah. But I have been enjoying making the laundry soap and the fabric softener as well, and using it because it's great. What I have found though is when you start making your own, you stop rationing it, and you actually start doing more laundry, which means that you've actually got more things that you've actually got to fold up and put away. But it does mean that the laundry gets done on a more regular basis, but it still doesn't cost you silly amounts of money, because it's only cost you pennies to make a batch in the first place. So
now,
it's
one of the things
good.
that's always said is you don't need to use fabric conditioner.
No.
It's something that we don't use it.
Yeah.
And we haven't used it for years. My husband is always up for saving money. It makes me saying don't bother with a fabric conditioner anymore. I mean, I don't know where a lot of your viewers are from. I guess they're from everywhere, but in the
Yeah.
UK, they went through a phase of pushing ironing water.
I know.
Scented
What is that
ironing water.
ironing? That was that starchy stuff, wasn't it? It was really kind of weird and smelled odd.
Yeah.
We've got an Aussie who has turned up, who I'm sure should be in bed asleep. Daz from my Aussie Kitchen and Garden. I see you. Hey, dude. Formula One first practice is on, so I'm also watching the big TV. We'll let you off, mate. It's all good. Yeah, we stopped using fabric softener when we got married. Yep. We do have soap recipes. There are also other people on YouTube that do really, really good soap recipes. I haven't actually put one up yet because I need to get back into that. But it's on the cards. But there are some really, really good ones.
Yeah. I can't cope with that.
Homesteady did a video recently for their podcast that actually had a goat's milk soap maker on there. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. I'm really, really sorry. But all her details are on that video set, and it was only a couple of weeks ago they did it. So go and have a look at that. She's also got a channel on YouTube and has some of her stuff on there. So yeah, go and have a look for there if you're looking for soap recipes at the moment. It's probably the best way to go because she actually sells hers and she sells a lot of it.
Goat's milk is amazing for soap.
Yeah, it's amazing.
My favourite.
And goat's milk for soap is one of the best things ever. It's fantastic. Really, really cool. So yeah, anyway.
Let's move on from soap.
Yeah. Let's move on from soap. Yes, we're all clean now. We are all clean now.
I'll just quickly mention toothpaste tablets.
Yes.
Or powder. We've just switched to those. So that, everything we're saying, it's not do all of this. It's, pick something and try something. And if you like it, that's great. The tablets did take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
Because it was quite a shock in your mouth. But as soon as you get the water in there, it's fine. And we just have them in a little glass jar in the bathroom cabinet.
Absolutely.
So that's really good.
I make my own toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
With activated charcoal.
Oh, yes.
And it is fantastic, actually. I just wanted to very quickly note, Alicia has just said there's a lot of legwork and learning to be had before one delves into making their first batch of soap. There's a lot of safety to be considered. Yes, there is, darling. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely there is. And Sapphire Diamonds and Pearls has said, I used to buy body lotion, but there are so many additives. Oh my God. Things are moving today. What's happened? So I use vitamin E pills, shea butter, and olive oil or rapeseed oil. I make it every 6 months and I use it on my hair. Nice. All these people making lovely things. That's cool. Awesome. Right. So now we're not on soap anymore. So we've got to move on to the next thing. And the next thing.
Right. It's completely opposite.
It's toothpaste. But yes.
Yeah. We've done
next.
Toothpaste.
We've done toothpaste. I have a video on that as well. So I will put links underneath later on.
Now, I think this one is going to apply to cat owners rather than dog owners. But switch to tins for your cat food. The pouches are expensive.
Yep.
And in the UK, if you wash them out and then find a special place to recycle them, someone will recycle them. Yep. But the reality is people just put them in the bin. And it's expensive. Now, our cat is fussy and she loved her pouches. And so what we did was we bought several different varieties of tin and we just kept up. Obviously we didn't want her to starve, so every now and again we would give her a pouch. If she definitely wasn't eating the meat we were giving her. But also we were finding not only is it cheaper to buy the tins, but because the tins are big chunks of meat, they're very meaty, they don't need as much. So whereas our cat was having 3 or 4 pouches a day, she's now having one tin if she has one tin.
Okay,
So
yeah.
she's, she doesn't need as much of the food because it's not all the gravy and the jelly and stuff like that, as much as she loves that.
Yeah.
So that is it's a big saving. So we're still on things that are cheaper, and aluminium is infinitely recyclable, which plastic isn't.
Yeah.
So there's that one. That's an easy one to do. Well,
There's other things that you can do with the tins as well.
yeah,
If you have got a garden, you
yes,
can use them as little candle lanterns around the place, or you can use them on top of canes,
yeah,
so that, just as cane covers as well, so that, there's less plastic floating around the garden. But it also means that, you can put a net over the canes if you need to, or anything like that, and you're not going to poke your eye out. So
no,
there's lots of different ways of using the tins if you need to do that. We're actually looking at starting to get cheap meat for the cat. They seem to have changed the recipe in the food, and it's not sustaining her for as long as it normally would. And normally she would be fine with, say, 2 pouches or half a tin or 2/3 of a tin a day. Now she has to have something at lunchtime, plus a treat halfway through the morning. And she is at our bedroom door at 4 o'clock in the morning, screaming because she's that hungry. So yeah, we're going to be looking at getting some cheaper meat for her and doing it ourselves, really. Saw an English TV ad that shows advertising to buy added smell balls for washing clothes on top of the already softeners and
yeah.
washing powders.
So,
What?
unstopper bubbles or something.
Really?
Knows? Yes, uh,
Wow.
it'll be really strong.
Oh,
There are there's a certain hinchers, they like all that kind of thing. So it's a flora for their disinfectant and all these different scented balls. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
terrible.
Oh, look, I figured out how to highlight comments. There we go. I'm
Oh,
still new at this stuff.
that's a good idea for reusing them, and people do them
Yeah.
up with tote bags as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm looking forward to getting chickens so we can use their chicken feed bags.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Reusable shopping bags. But here, the little cat food pouches, they're tiny. They're
Mm,
like what, 5 inches by 4 inches? They
right.
they're not very big. Um, but yeah, the bigger ones.
What did I do? Nothing. Whoops. I
Oh
did
god,
nothing. I did nothing.
unstoppable's the worst thing ever invented. Yeah, it's the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know what these things are. See, Tanny and I don't have TV. Because we just don't have it. We don't watch it. If we have something that we want to watch on Netflix, or if we want to watch on, say, Amazon Prime or something like that, that's all we have. And YouTube, of course. But we don't tend to watch a lot of stuff. So I'm missing the ads, and all these new things are popping up, and I'm like, the what now?
Yeah, you're not missing out.
Oh, good. I'm so
While
pleased.
we're talking about clothes,
Mm,
buy second-hand clothes, charity shops,
yeah.
thrift shops. There's, you can get some good stuff in them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's. I mean, people will say that the meat industry is the biggest concern for the climate, but it's not. It's the fashion industry.
Yeah.
So it's if
Mm,
you can buy second hand, you are not causing. Cotton use a lot of water to grow, plus all the air miles. If it's already here and it's already in the if it's already in the shops, in the charity shops, thrift shops, fantastic. There's no miles on that.
yeah.
Grace and Fire using her chicken feed bags. Awesome. Shall I use
Yeah.
that? That's a great idea.
My neighbor couldn't find cat food, so she bought, wait, where'd that one go? Wait. Okay. So my neighbor couldn't find cat food, so she bought 90 cans of Vienna sausages, mixed it with veggies, and she said the cat is more energetic. Go figure. Well, yeah. The thing is that the tins have got a lot of kibble in them, and cats are not veggie in any way, shape, or form. They're not. They are carnivorous animals. They need to eat meat. I know that there is a move to try and make them be able to have veg, but they're not that kind of animal, and it will kill them, if that's all they have. So, but putting it with stuff, I mean, our cat, if we have a roast dinner, she has a roast dinner. So she loves Christmas.
Homestead is just off to feed her animals.
Yay! Okay, darling, no problem. Thank you for being here. I have no TV, just any free streamed UK TV and programs shown via YouTube. Yep.
Actually,
Yeah.
if you've got YouTube,
Yeah.
the Wartime Kitchen and Garden.
Yes.
It's people that were living as if they were living back then. Fantastic tips. Talking about the old days in the chat.
Yeah.
And also,
I used to really love watching the Edwardian kitchen, the Edwardian farm and the Victorian farm, with two other series very similar to those. I think they're in the same series, aren't they?
They are. It's Ruth Goodman and Alex.
Well, see, Ruth trained me.
Ooh.
I worked with Ruth for a year, and she trained me because I'm a food historian.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to work with her for a year for my practical stuff. So, yeah. I love Ruth. I think she's wonderful. She and I really do have, like, we it's almost like we're born in the wrong time. Do you know what I mean?
But while we're talking about TV shows, BBC iPlayer, Shop Well for the Planet.
Shop Well for the Planet. Yes.
It's
okay.
Ordinary families, and they go in and they see what changes they can make. And obviously, these aren't families that are going to be making their own soap and stuff.
No.
So we want to try and make going green normal. If we're a very niche group here, and the people that, everybody that's watching, looking at their channel names, or if I've seen some of their channels, we know what they're like. You're all great at doing these things.
Yeah.
Be people that aren't, and they just haven't got a clue where to start.
Yeah. And that's the point. And that's part of what I'm trying to do with my channel, is to show them that there's a place to start, and that things don't have to be a lot of money, because we are having to. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, it's my tea. My tea's giving me the burps. How embarrassing. Okay. Yep. I'm going to switch to water now.
You sort yourself out. Let's move on to food.
Let's move on to food. Let's move on to food. Food.
Underneath, things that are cheaper.
Yes.
Now, bear with me here. Bear with me, because we've got a lot of people that will just go out and buy their chicken nuggets and chicken nuggets and chips frozen, and they look at the price of loose vegetables in the supermarket, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is so expensive." Go, if you can, get to your farmers markets. Not the fancy ones that are like selling jam for £5 for a small jar. The proper farmers markets that are there every week, and they are the farmers selling direct. They are so cheap.
Yeah.
So they're cheap. And also, as we were discussing earlier, use a menu, write out what you're going to eat that week, and shop to that menu. So you only buy the stuff you need. You don't need to buy a big bag of carrots if you're only going to use 4 carrots that week. You don't want them to go off. Or if carrots are on offer, think, what am I going to, how can I use up this lot of carrots?
Yeah.
Use your leftovers. So think about, if you make a curry and you've got too much curry, the next day have it on jacket potato.
Yeah.
Use that up.
Or even on toast, man.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really odd, but it's like one of my favorite things is like curry on toast. I know that sounds really weird, but it is. But my dad used to do things like, savory mince on toast. So to me, it wasn't that big a stretch. It was like, oh yeah, well, it's kind of savory mince. It's just curry. So,
And while you're making those things,
yeah,
add some extra stuff to bulk it out. Like right now, I'm making jollof. So, and we're making it, I'm doing jackfruit because I personally don't eat meat, even though everyone else in the house does.
yeah,
So I'm making a jackfruit jollof, and to it, because there was a bag of carrots, it's me saying buy loose, but there was bags of carrots, huge bags of carrots, for 6p in Sainsbury's. So we just got one, we got a bag of carrots. So I've chopped up, you wouldn't add carrots to it normally. I've chopped up carrots, I've put a handful of sweet corn in it. Well, quite a generous bag of sweet corn in there. But what that's done is, because I've bulked it out, it's going to do 6 meals instead of 3.
yeah.
So bulk that out, and then you can put it in the freezer for next week, or if you like it that much, you can have it the next day if you don't mind that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I like to space out eating the same thing.
Just hang on a minute, guys. I'm off to Karen's for dinner. Right, bye.
It might be ready by the time
I'm going
you
to
get
her
there.
house. By the time I get there, it'll be cooler than it was. But
I've had to start now to cook it for tonight. While we're on cooking, oh yeah, bread was always the filler.
Yeah, bread was always the filler. It was, yeah. Bulk out most of my curries with potatoes or sweet potatoes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Daz, for putting those links up. Hey, darling, I really do appreciate it.
Pumpkin's another great bulker. If you're growing pumpkin, that time of year, we put pumpkin in everything. Or if you're making chili, just another can of beans.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Jerusalem artichokes make a good filler for things, but they do have a bad reputation because they turn some of us not so ladylike.
They're banned from my house. I don't like the effect they have on my husband. Don't tell anyone. This is between us and our closest 100 friends. Yeah. Moving along.
That's okay.
Moving along.
That's all good. Right, they do deserve their name though, and their nickname of fartichokes. So yeah, it is what it is.
Right, what else have we got here? Moving on. Before you get stroppy. Turn down your heating. I know someone on this live could do with turning down the heating. 20 degrees.
Oh, really? I was going to say, hang on a second. I turned mine off 2 weeks ago. Ours went off. off. And so if I can cope with the temperatures as they are, madam,
Oh, ours was off. I was thinking, the other day you were going, I turned mine down to 20 degrees.
I do. Over winter, it's on 20 degrees because that's all we really need. And Tanny gets really overheated really quickly, but, he's from Yorkshire and he's used to living in polar ice cap conditions. But, poor little me from Queensland is not.
Yeah, turn down your heating, even if just 1 degree. But also something people don't think about, because you have to get up into the attic or wherever your boiler is. But turn down your water thermostat. They are set high. If you think about if you are washing up or running a bath or whatever you're doing, you put the hot in and then you have to add cold. So we know that our hot water is super hot. Yeah. Now, we're not saying turn it down all the way so that you don't have to add any cold. But if you can turn it down even 1 degree, then that is going to give you a huge saving on money, but also it's going to be saving the environment as well.
Absolutely.
Turn down the water thermostat. Look at who you use for your loo roll.
Oh, hang on a second. We've got a few little comments that we've got in the chat here that we're going to have to catch up with. Okay, so Dawny said every leftover was used in stews and the pot would be kept heated for heating and added with bones left over, etc. Yep, that's pretty much what I did in the winter. The slow cooker just kept on going. It was going all winter. Brussels sprouts make me feel that way, but they help with blood sugars. They do. Carrots I buy in bulk. I have 8 half-gallon jars in the fridge filtered with filtered water. I have them for 3 months. They're fresh as I bought them yesterday. Yep. Get that way with broccoli. Poor Rebecca. So I don't need a lot of it. Fair enough. Leanne says we use geothermal heating and cooling to be green.
How lovely.
Nice. Dawn, can't turn the sun down. But we, I mean, here in York, if I could turn the sun up, I would. I'm not going to lie.
You can have something else. It's too hot already for us down here.
I tell you what, when we get the new greenhouse this weekend, the chances are I will move into it. But yeah, I make seed growing pots from my toilet rolls. Any leftover goes to the compost. Safe glue here. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good idea. That, Dawny, that's what I do as well. I've got a couple in the bathroom that need to be used this week. I say a couple. You'll see on video at some point.
It's a good idea.
But it is a good idea. But the other thing is as well, when all the panic happened over loo rolls, okay, and everyone was buying every loo roll in sight, it tickled me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was quite horrified by some people's behavior in that. But I was sitting there looking on eBay, and I had a look, and I looked over at Tanny, and I said, do these people realise that you can buy a bidet attachment for your toilet for £8?
Mm.
And it takes 5 minutes to put it on? You know? It doesn't cost that much, and it's really, really simple, and it's a very simple way of dealing with that situation. There's different products out there that are greener than others, that are recycled, all that kind of thing, and but yeah. Okay, so yep, Sapphire Diamonds and Pearls is off for her grocery run. Thanks for being here, darling.
Lovely.
Yeah, the other person on the screen, Rose's Allotment Adventures. Yes, this is Karen. Karen from Rose's Allotment Adventures. No, I can't talk any quieter. I have to be heard over the car engines. Just saying. So, yeah.
Now, we've been looking recently.
Love you too, Daz.
We've been looking recently at getting a bidet attachment.
Yeah.
But our plumbing is very old. It needs a plumber.
Yeah.
To come and do it because, it's ancient and made to last, our plumbing.
Fair enough.
It's not something that I can quickly undo it.
Yeah.
But we use a company called Who Gives a Crap.
Yes.
And they deliver worldwide, I think. There's no plastic in their makeup. Everything is covered in paper. Your loo roll's covered in paper.
Yeah.
Quite pretty paper. You can use it for wrapping paper. People have used it for.
Yes. We have friends that use it.
Yeah.
And, they've actually used it because one of their kids is autistic. They actually use it for wrapping paper because he doesn't care. And I get that. I do get that because I'm autistic as well. So, but he's just like, poof. So to get any Christmas out of him whatsoever, they have to wrap things up. But, they tend to use that paper, which is fine. And he likes it.
Yeah,
Whereas
and
if it was Christmas paper, he would probably not touch it ever. So, yeah.
well, I say it's cheaper. It
Yeah.
works out cheaper per roll. We were buying the cheapest toilet roll from the cheapest shop, Lidl, for those that are in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, we would buy that, and this stuff works out cheaper, and it's more
Yes.
environmentally friendly. And during the Great Toilet Roll Crisis of 2020, the company didn't take on. It is a clever name. The company didn't take on any. This is going to go downhill.
It shall forever be known as the Great Toilet Roll Crisis of 2020, won't it? Seriously.
Oh, people
Our grandkids will not believe this. The ones that are born now will not believe this.
Oh my! People are still going to do it. You know, I said the other day, if someone just got a pass wind and suddenly everybody's panic buying petrol, and if people are panic buying petrol, they automatically go for the toilet roll and the pasta because this is what's going to happen. We have this awful herd mentality now. It's just, yeah,
it's just lack of organisation, lack of skills.
Dawn is a clever company name, but when we started, my daughter was what, 6? Rose was like 6, and she was saying, "What's crap?" Or because it's written on the box.
Yeah.
And she's like, someone go, no, you can't say that word. She's like, so she doesn't understand why it was written on the box. Yeah.
Wow.
But when we had the Great Toilet Roll Crisis of 2020, the company weren't taking on any new customers.
Yeah.
So they were being loyal to their existing customers and guaranteed the loo roll. So
that's brilliant. I actually think that's brilliant, you know. We use the cheapest toilet roll in the kids' toilet and the better stuff in our ensuite. I had to use the kids' toilet recently and just about gave myself a prostate. I have to admit, Daz, I actually used to do that when I had the foster kids and my kids. Yeah, I used to have the nice stuff in mine, and because we'd have kids that'd come in and hide it. They were hiding it because they didn't know if it'd get, you know.
They knew there was a crisis coming.
But 20 years, really? They didn't have to do it then? Oh my goodness. Don't understand that here, if we are such a small island, how we don't have shortages, price hikes, etc. here in Cyprus, because people aren't idiots. They don't have that kind of same herd mentality as they do. Oh gosh, what happened there? What happened there? Oh, did we flicker off for a second? That's so weird. I blame the cat. She's asleep, but I blame her. # blame the cat. Yeah, I think you've still got quite a decent kind of organized adult mentality there in Cyprus, whereas in a lot of Western countries, they really don't have that. It's slowly being untaught, if that makes sense. You know, so like cooking classes and economics classes and, you know, the classes that we all had to go to when we were at high school, primary school and high school, they're not taught as necessities anymore. They're only taught as if you want to learn them. And if they don't have more than 12 kids in a class, they won't teach it at all. So, you know, it's slowly disappearing because of that, or they're just taking them out altogether and can't be bothered. So, you know, I think that's a lot of it, to be honest, as well. And with parents not having the chance to, because they're having to work full time each to be able to, you know, keep a roof over the head at the moment, especially over here, You know, they don't have time to teach their kids because they haven't time to learn themselves. You know, so everything's grab it now and hope for the best, which is sad and scary.
It is.
Really.
Also, there's a mentality that people don't want to learn. I was part of a project, a government project, where we were giving free lessons, including childcare,
Yeah.
if needed, to anyone that wanted to learn how to cook on a budget. We
Yeah.
would give them the food. We would give them the recipe cards. So the idea was that you got to cook a good meal.
Yeah.
Things like your shepherd's pie, spaghetti bolognese, you know, a basic meal of meat, veg, potatoes, that kind of thing, and all your pastas. There was so many different types of meal. I mean, at the end, they could just turn up for free and go home with a meal that
Absolutely.
But
I've actually spoken, because you've spoken to me about this before. Now, I happen to know the guy who runs the food banks here in York, and I've been having email conversations with him because we've been talking about doing something similar. Now, he's actually been asking around, and one of the biggest things that people are scared of is that social services will take their children away if they think they can't cook. Okay, so that's one of the things. One of the issues. Two is that they don't think that, or even though that they will get those lessons and they'll be pleased with them and all of that kind of thing, they have to go home and then they have to think, can I afford to do this on a daily basis? Yeah. And 9 times out of 10 at the moment, they can't, which is why I'm putting in extra effort now to find ways of doing these things as cheaply as possible. And what we're looking at doing through the food banks is teaching how to use the food that is used and bought and given at the food banks. They're main staple items that are given out, how people can use them and make them go as far as possible.
That is the thing, isn't it? Get your fruit and veg. Got to do a nice stew with that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. People get to the food bank and they don't know what to do with what they've been given because it's not stuff that they normally buy.
Yeah.
You know, they don't recognize it. They don't know how to use it. So they'll just open up a tin, heat it up, and then just serve that.
Yeah.
Whereas if they put this with this and this and this, they could actually probably feed a lot more people for a lot longer. Good grief. Am I swallowing air? I'm swallowing air. You know, I must be talking lies or something. Hot air just rises, doesn't it?
But another way, veering slightly off food bank, of saving money and being green is to make your own snacks, your cakes, biscuits, and bread, if you're so inclined. And I imagine many of them on the chat would.
Can I just say, if anyone really wants to learn how to bake bread, go and watch Leanne's channel over at the Mennonite Farmhouse. That woman, what she does with dough, I quit. I quit. Just be glad the air's not going the other way. But yeah, no, I know, mate. I'm just saving that for Tanny when he gets home.
I'll be checking out Mennonite. We make our own bread. And I did sourdough years ago, but when we get back from our road trip, I'm going to start doing a new sourdough starter.
Road trip! Road trip! I can't wait till your road trip.
I can't wait till your road trip. And Rose mentions it at least on a daily basis.
Oh, does she? Bless her heart.
Especially lemon top ice creams.
Oh, yes.
Well, this won't mean anything to people.
No, okay, so completely off topic here for 2 seconds, okay? A lemon top ice cream is basically a soft serve ice cream, you know, like the Mr. Whippy, okay? And then what they put on top is what they call a lemon top, which is like a Mr. Whippy, but it's lemon sorbet, and it goes on top. And it's sold up and down the coastal region here in East Yorkshire. So, yeah, well, North Yorkshire, but Whitby, Scarborough, all the way down there. And it's lovely.
I'm salivating.
I know. I actually thought it was a really awful thing when I first heard about it, and then I tried it, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I'm moving to Whitby.
I can't wait to have one. That's just like, yeah, I'm saving up my sugar allowance for our trip. On the Turkish Delight flavour coffee. I'm having one of those.
Yeah, there's the issue with education. I think I'm going to have to do another video on this. Is the education of kids and stuff from primary school, etc. Because I've been working with kids and teenagers for a very, very, very long time. Probably just after I was a teenager myself, to be honest. And there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things that need to be addressed, and it's very, very sad. Very, very sad. So, yeah. But I think I'm going to have to do another video on that altogether at another time.
This is a big part of the reason why Rose is home educated.
Yes.
I want her to learn, to tell the time, to know grammar, how to spell, how to have basic manners, how to hold a knife and fork, but also how to grow food, to cook food, and to preserve food. So, that's a big reason.
Yeah. Explain how the Aussie love a good gay time. The biggest Aussie joke in the planet. Okay, so basically it's an ice lolly on a stick, but it's ice cream. Okay, and it's been so long since I've had one. It's like caramel vanilla dipped in chocolate with biscuit crumbs dipped on biscuit crumbs on the outside. Dude, it's been years. I haven't had one for years. But yeah, they're called gay time, golden gay times. Yeah, they're great. They are great when you can get one.
Yes, Dawn, you're right. Life skills.
Yeah, life skills are very important. Planning on doing a video on a lemon sponge pie, which is a pie from my culture. Oh my!
Seriously, I'm spending this afternoon going through your channel, Mennonite Farmhouse.
Leanne. I have to tell you right now. Okay, I have loved and been completely obsessed by the Amish and Mennonites since I was 7. You're the first one I've ever met. I absolutely adore you, and I'm going to learn everything I possibly can. I even went so far as when I was a kid that I wouldn't have a normal doll. I had to have an Amish doll when I was a kid. I wouldn't have them. It was just, yeah. I'm just, it's weird. Don't ask me. I'm past life thing. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just me. So, yeah. We have something similar, but it's strawberry and shortcake ice cream on a stick. Oh, look. Guys. Talking about ice cream. They're talking about ice cream now. This is completely off topic. What are we doing?
Oh, dear. Right, I've got another
Yes.
confession.
Back on topic.
Back on topic.
Bring it back.
You've already run over. You've already run over on time.
What? Hang on. That's just... You can't do that. You can't tell me that. I'm going to go cross.
We're talking too much.
No.
Right, so quickly.
Okay. Sorry.
Things that are an investment, but they will save you money. So these are environmentally friendly things that might cost to begin with. So things like your non-stick baking sheets, silicone or Teflon. You can reuse them for donkey shears.
Yes.
And so you'll have to pay to start off with. They'll be more expensive than buying your baking paper, but in the long run will save you money. This might be a bit icky for some. Reusable sanitary items. cups, pads, etc. Do you know what? I dithered for about a year, and I'm so
Yeah.
glad I did it.
Yeah.
But also talking about loo roll, some people use family cloth.
Yes.
So,
Which is
you know,
basically face cloths and a spray bottle and
yeah,
a nappy bucket. It's
yeah,
not that difficult.
yeah. Reusable face wipes, we've already covered that. Bidet attachment, we've covered that. Reusable
Mm.
nappies, if you've got little ones
Yeah,
running around.
reusable nappies. When did we stop using terry cloth nappies?
Convenience. But nappies these days, reusable ones, they are amazing. They are
Yeah,
so easy and
I know. No
they're
pins involved. And it's like,
they're
you
not
know,
cheap. Like you can get nappy libraries
yeah,
that you can get your nappies from
they're a lot
or
cheaper,
borrow
pardon
nappies
me,
from.
if you make your own. But and there are plenty of patterns out there if you're that fancy and you're able to do that, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I swear it's
So
only
this is
water.
going to be Burp's food, not Blue's food.
I'm so sorry. I knew I should have waited until after to have lunch, so I didn't. I just scoffed it really quickly, and that was probably a really bad idea. So yeah, okay.
Dawn, they do
Silicon.
say clean in the oven. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, they do. Silicon sheets safe cleaning the oven too. Yeah, they do.
I've got an
They
oven
do.
liner at the bottom of my oven.
Yeah.
If we can sew napkins. Yeah.
Well, no. What I'm talking about are the ones that actually shape, not like the terry nappies. I'm not talking about those ones, but they're out nowadays. You know, since after I had my kids, of course, because I'm apparently old and ancient and stuff. But someone came up with the idea of actually making a reusable nappy that looks like a disposable one, and it's reusable and it fits, and you just go clip, 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 and it's done. I'm like, oh. But I used to love my terry nappies because I used to use them as cloths and stuff. They got used as burp cloths. They got used as upchuck cloths. They got used for everything. Everything. And then when the kids had grown out of them, they got used for cleaning windows. They got used for everything. They're fantastic.
I thought I
Sorry.
needed muslin cloth, which is what I
Mm,
used when Rose was a baby for cleaning up after her. Now I
yeah.
use it for straining cheese and stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
still using them today.
They're
Um,
probably actually better quality than the muslin cloths that you get for cheese making, to be honest.
oh, so much,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
And
much
so it
better. Yeah.
saves. It saves money because you can reuse it. Whereas the cheesecloth you buy in the little packets, manky little packets, tends to disintegrate.
It does. Someone bought me them. Someone bought
Yeah.
me some with a cheese making book and etc. And I've not opened them because they're already in the packet disintegrating from the edges.
Yeah.
But while you're on your water, and I don't think this needs to be said here for anyone watching now, but buy a water bottle. Take water
Yeah.
out with you instead of buying bottles of water.
Yep. You can get fancy ones with sparkles. See, look.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Mine's got
Teddy
tents.
bought me that. He saw it when he was at work one day going past this shop, and he grabbed me one. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. See, it's lovely. Right.
Liam, 6K subs in the first year. Well done.
Yeah, she did. She's awesome.
She's going to give a shout out to all our channels then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got you written down. Yeah, we got 6001 now.
Use Norwex cloths on my windows and only use water with them, no chemicals. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
when I actually found, all right, I found this out when I was a teenager. I don't know how I found it out. I think I heard it on the radio somewhere. But if you just used vinegar, like white vinegar, and an old newspaper scrunched up, you always had streak-free windows. Well, it works, And of course, it worked to my disadvantage because when my mum realised that I could clean the windows better than she could, that was my job, and we had floor-to-ceiling ranch sliders all the way around 3 sides of the house. So, you know, that kind of had to, that was my job. I still have another month before I hit my 1 year. She'll
Yeah,
be at 10
yeah, all
grand.
right.
Yeah, you watch. She'll be at 10 grand by then. Look, if you have any left over, Leanne, that you don't want, to send them our way. If you've got some overflow, you know, just it's all good.
I've got 2 more things to say.
Okay, 2 more things. Sorry.
2 more things. No, it's right. Now, these are things that will cost more,
Yeah.
but you can do it after you've saved all this money that we've spent the last hour talking about. First of
Okay.
all, milk in glass bottles,
Yes.
local delivery. We are lucky enough. I know this is rare, but we have a dairy in our village, and they deliver.
Wow.
But around the UK, there are milk delivery companies. Now we pay 70p a pint.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's not bad. It is more expensive than if you're buying the UHT milk in a carton.
Yeah.
So, which is what we used to do.
Mm.
So it is more expensive, but we felt I calculated our savings, and just by, without all the other things we've discussed, but just by stopping things like buying the cling film and the kitchen roll and we were saving £20 a week.
That's a lot of money, hey.
Just on the stuff we stopped.
Yeah.
So, of course, we love the savings, but I did say, I feel like because we did this environmentally, that we could now put a little bit of this. I mean, our milk bill is probably, I think it works out at £21 for the month.
Yeah.
So, that's like a week's worth of saving that we did.
Absolutely.
And the last thing is eco deodorant that we were talking about.
Yes.
If you're buying the cheapy deodorant from the supermarkets, eco deodorant is more expensive.
Yeah, but it lasts longer. It lasts so much longer. And the cheapy stuff will end up costing you more in the long run because it's very bad for you and puts some very nasty chemicals into your body.
Yeah. We understand if you're on a budget and you've only got so much for that week.
Yeah. And we also understand if you have teenage boys who all of a sudden one day wake up and they smell like a dead dog, chase them around the house with as much of that cheap shit as you want, because you need it. We know, we understand. I understand. Okay, I totally get it. Because there's that one morning you wake up and you go, oh, damn, it's turned into a teenager. I'm on a dairy farm. I get my milk for free, but I wish it was legal for us to sell at the CDC. And America claims it's dangerous to drink raw milk, but I drank it all my life. I'm not dead yet. I know, right? I think dead badger. Yeah. Dead badger. Yep. Teenage boy. Dead badger. Pretty close. But yeah, no, raw milk. There's nothing like it on the planet. Yeah, see, I remember when fizzy drinks were in glass bottles, because we used to take them back to the shop. We'd go around the streets and we'd go and collect them all. And you'd got to get 5p for a bottle. And when we were kids, 5p would get you a slushie.
You get you some good sweets as well.
Yeah, it gives you some great sweets, 4 bottles. If you took back 4 bottles, you got a full one. So it was like, yeah.
Leanne, we can get raw milk here if you go to the dairies. They don't sell it, but some dairies they have like an honesty fridge,
right,
where they just have processed bottles. But if you ask them, they will give you the raw milk. They will sell the raw milk.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that. I have trouble with milk and things that come from milk. It doesn't stop me being a cheeseaholic, because I am a cheeseaholic. I will put my hands up. But yeah, raw milk I tend to deal better with than I do with treated milk, if that makes sense. So if I can find a dairy that has naked or raw milk, then I will look into that. I will look into that. Thank you, guys. Seriously.
I don't think Claire is a million miles from you, is she?
Claire, no.
She's not a million miles away from you.
No, I know that there's a dairy just outside town, and they are the guys that deliver, and they deliver everything in glass bottles. Your milk, all your different types of milk, your juices, everything. Everything is in glass bottles or paper bags. They're amazing, but they deliver at 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you're not there, the chances are, because of where we live, it'll be nicked. So you have to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning to grab it. You're a train ride away. What? Chris was 2.5p, so plenty left for tons of sweets. So I know. So rude. She's a train ride. How about drinking milk from Jersey cow? Different protein that's easier for some to digest. Ooh. Okay, Daz. No worries, darling. Thank you so much for being here. It was lovely to see you.
Take care, Daz.
Yes. So, I don't drink milk, but we can just get any from a passing goat.
That would be
that's life goals right there, isn't it? Here, goaty, squirt, squirt, yum.
How do you stop them, Dawn? Excuse me, can you just stand there for a moment?
Stand there so I can milk you. Okay. Gosh. Take it easy, Des. Sweet dreams, sweetheart. Okay, so glass milk bottles.
Yeah, more expensive, but look at all the
They are a little bit, they're not actually that much more expensive, but you know, it's being around when they deliver as well, or having a spot that they can deliver that's nice and safe.
Yeah, we get ours left on the doorstep at 3:26 every morning. And he is never late. He is never not 3:26. He's never early.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not awake every night, but you know, if I do hear him, it's 3:26.
Wow.
It's amazing.
See, this is what I don't understand, okay? We are sitting in a country right now that had the biggest fleet of electrical vehicles in this country. In the world, even. Okay? They had the biggest fleet of electrical vehicles in the world. In the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Was it still there in the early 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because I used to get milk for the boy. So, you know, and everything was glass bottles. It wasn't plastic. Everything was in glass bottles. And all of a sudden, they disappeared. And everything was in plastic bottles. And now there's this big turnaround going, oh, whoops, that was a bad idea, wasn't it?
People weren't making enough money from the environmentally friendly stuff. It wasn't known as environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
But if all you're doing is using electric vehicles and re-washing those glass bottles,
yeah,
the petroleum companies aren't making money.
Well, that's just true. See, I used to live in Milford Haven, and that was just down the road from the Esso refinery. And I don't know if you remember, it would have been, I was a kid, so you would have been a kid as well. But there was a massive fire. One of the tanks exploded, one of the holding tanks. 4 weeks it took them to put that fire out, and we could see it from our house.
Blimey.
Yeah. We could see it. The flames were that high, and the sky every night was bright red, and we could see it for about a month. And they actually pulled the milk tankers off to take foam to the fire. So there was a milk shortage at the same time because they took all the tankers off. Yeah.
Wow.
Scary stuff, isn't it? Anywho, right. So what are we doing next week? What are we doing next week? What's our topic for next week? We need a topic for next week. What are we doing? Gosh. Well, I think the only thing that we haven't talked about here is gardening. We haven't talked about actually growing our own food on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that is something that we could do as a lead on from this one, because we've done everything that's inside the house. We haven't done anything that's outside the house.
Seed saving, that would be a good one.
Yeah. So if we talk of hubby's ears just pricked up. Yeah. So if we do gardening on a budget and growing your own food and stuff on a budget next week. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. So did we have others? Anything else that we had to? This live starts at 1 BST, darling. 1 p.m. BST. So yeah, or GMT to you. That's fine. Yep. But 1 p.m. Yep. And it seems to be a good time because look, everybody showed up. Which is really very, very groovy. So yeah, but it's every Friday as well, unless it's a holiday. So, but it's all to do with budgeting and doing things on a budget and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I know about this wonderful collaboration about what we will and will not grow again. I know, right? It's a good collaboration, that. I know some really amazing people that have done videos for that.
I still can't think of 5 things I won't grow again.
I couldn't really think of 5 things I couldn't grow again. There's actually quite a few people that couldn't think of 5 things they couldn't grow or wouldn't grow. But it was more, I think, part of mine was because of constraints with area. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You can do it. Come on, Karen.
I will. And I've got to do the Liz Zorab one as well.
Yes, we've got this.
And your challenge.
Yes, the pantry challenge. Talking about things going green and on a budget and all that kind of thing. Guys, 4 weeks ago, I released a collab invitation to do a spoil yourself pantry challenge. Okay, so all it is that you do a video with you making something using the ingredients that you already have in the pantry. Okay, the pantry, the fridge, the freezer, whatever. So you're not using anything that you would go out of your way to go and buy. Also, the only electricals or gas you're allowed to use is the stove or the oven. Okay, so no electrical appliances. You've got to do it all by hand. So it's something that everybody can do because it's stuff that you normally have in the house. Okay, and you may not. You'll be looking at. It's aimed at people who don't normally have a lot of fancy equipment. So we want everybody to be able to spoil themselves with what is just in the house, you know. So you've still got 10 days. 10 days. 10 days. So, you know, that'd be really cool if you could join in. I'd really like that because my poor little video is looking very lonely at the moment. I'm in a collaboration next week. Recipes that are with only shelf-stable foods. Nice. Sounds like my everyday life. Exactly. But there are a lot of people out there that don't know how to do it as well. So, you know, it'd be nice to have a few different things. So we'll just see how we go. So next week we are going to be doing gardening on a budget, which is our lead on from here. We will be here, Karen, if she hasn't had enough of me by then, because she might have had enough of me by then. She doesn't show her camera. She doesn't show her face on camera because she's a celebrity in her own village. So, you know, we don't make her do that. But if anyone else would like to join us at any point who wants to join us and discuss, you know, anything that we're talking about, please do send me a message, an email, or whatever. I don't care. Just let me know. We'll see how we go. You know? So I want to say thank you guys for being here today. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, because you have been amazing, and this has been awesome. Been a lot of fun. And we will see you next week. Love you guys heaps.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Oh, wait. Anne's having a nose job done. Oh, bless her. You're welcome. It'll be awesome.
Oh, good luck.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to have to go. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here reading these forever and ever and ever. Okay, so plus recipes with only things that you can grow. Oh, that's a really good idea. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Really going now. Okay.